The top stories tonight in Y News. The Senate leadership maintains that no amendments will be made to the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill amid calls to bring it back to plenary.
The provincial government places Albay under state of calamity due to the increasing unrest of the Mayon volcano.
Another power interruption has occurred at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 earlier today, a month after the outage on May 1st.
And global help begins to arrive in Canada as the country endured its historic start to wildfire season.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 9th of June, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harleen Delgado.
First in the news. The Senate leadership maintains that no amendments will be made to the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill amid calls from some former and incumbent lawmakers to send back the measure to both chambers of Congress. Harleen Delgado will tell us why.
Two former Senate leaders agree with Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel to revert the Maharlika Investment Fund or MIF bill to the plenary. Pimentel earlier said that the approval of the MIF bill should be recalled and returned to the floor to fix some serious errors. This was in response to Senate Majority Leader and Senate Officer in Charge Joel Villanueva's remarks that the bill is still with the Senate Secretariat for finishing touches and quote-unquote perfecting amendments. These include the conflicting provisions on the prescription period of offense. Former Senate President Vicente Tito Soto III says the bill should be returned to the period of amendments. He says a non-lawmaker cannot amend the contents of a proposed measure that was approved on third reading except for typographical errors. And to do so, Soto believes, would be a criminal offense.
It happens at nagkakaroon ng ganyan. Pero yung sinasabi ko nga ng mga pagkakamali na pwedeng galawin ng Secretariat authorized na Senate President, pagka yung mga typographical errors, baka pirmahan ng Pangulo yan kung hindi siya mabigyan ng advice na wag. Baka mapirmahan niya yan. May magcha-challenge na sa Supreme Court, sigurado.
The former Senate leader says President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. can call for a special session for lawmakers to amend the bill. Former Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon also notes that the Senate Secretariat has no right to amend the measure, raising the potential legal consequences if the text of the bill is changed without the approval of the plenary. In response, Villanueva remains firm that no amendments will be made to what the members of the Senate intend to pass during its plenary deliberations. Earlier, the Senate leader noted that the bill will carry the 10-year prescription period as approved during the period of amendments. The Senate has yet to confirm if there is an enrolled bill already and when it will be transmitted to Malacanang for President Marcos Jr.'s action. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The camp of former Senator Laila de Lima is hopeful that her remaining drug case will end very soon. The Supreme Court's Office of the Court Administrator has directed the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court Branch 256 that is handling the former senator's remaining drug case to finish the case within 9 months. Attorney Bonnie Tacardon, de Lima's counsel, says the prosecution and the defense panels have agreed that all the 3 new witnesses will be heard on June 19. The court has set the prosecution's presentation of evidence in chief on June 19 and 26.
Nakikita natin na there is a possibility talaga na makasunod kami sa direktiba ng Office of the Court Administrator na matapos to even before the 9-month period given to us. Si Rodolfo Magleo, ang sinasabi lang niya, naririnig daw niya.
Okay.
Sabi niya he was against drugs. Hindi siya involved sa drug trade sa loob ng Bilibid prisons.
De Lima's camp will file a motion for reconsideration after the court junked its petition for bail.
Meanwhile, the entire province of Albay is now under a state of calamity due to the effects of the activity of Mayon volcano. Many residents have evacuated after the eruption of Mount Mayon, especially those living in the permanent danger zone. Alan Manansala will tell us why.
The province of Albay is now under state of calamity due to the eruption of the Mayon volcano. Because of this, the provincial government can now use their quick response funds and control the price of the basic goods. Residents living in the 6-kilometer radius danger zone are also immediately evacuated to a safer place. Beginning this morning, about 2,400 families or 10,000 residents from the towns of Ginubatan, Camalig, Daraga, and Santo Domingo have been taken to evacuation centers. The local government in Albay has prepared trucks to speed up the evacuation of the residents. They have also assigned medical staff to take care of the elderly included in the evacuees. They will temporarily stay in the evacuation centers and schools for a few days until the volcano shows declining abnormality.
Evacuate po kami dahil delikado po ang sitwasyon magiging. Igaabot po kami talaga kang Aspon.
The Provincial Council of Albay then authorized Albay Governor Ed Selagman to use the allotted 30 million pesos of Mayon emergency response out of the 42 million quick response fund of the province. Albay Public Safety and Emergency Management Office or APSIMO officer in charge Eugene Escobar said that the allotted 30 million pesos for Mayon emergency response may only last for 10 days starting from the first day of the evacuation. Escobar cited that based from previous experiences, evacuation may last for 2 to 3 months due to the unstable condition of the volcano, thus the need for added financial support from the national government. Meanwhile, the rockfall event recorded in Mount Mayon by the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PHIVOLCS has doubled from 98 on June 7 to 8. It increased to 199 24 hours later. 65 pyroclastic density currents were also detected in the volcano that have lasted for 4 to 5 minutes. Last night, a crater glow or superheated gas that came out of the volcano was also observed. According to PHIVOLCS officer in charge Dr. Teresito Bacolcol, it is possible that what happened in 2014 where Mount Mayon had a number of rockfall events and lava flow will reoccur.
Yung difference right now is that wala tayong masyadong nakikitang pagtaas ng sulfur dioxide emission. So ito yung isa sa mga palatandaan natin. Meron tayong mga rockfall events, meron tayong tapos wala tayong masyadong earthquake, volcanic earthquakes. So kahit kahapon wala tayong na-record na volcanic earthquake. Yung sulfur dioxide emission natin only around 300 tons per day, which is mababa to sa normal na binubugan ng Mayon, which is 500 tons per day.
Raising the volcano alert to level 4 is also possible if it's show increased sulfur discharge, longer lava flows, lava fountaining, frequent earthquakes, swelling of the volcano's edifice, and minor explosions. The government agency has once again reminded that there should be no more residents living within 6 kilometers permanent danger zone in the area. This is because they may be hit by rock falls once the volcano erupts. Alan Manansala, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Some health experts have warned the public, especially in areas affected by the volcanic eruption, of the harm that can be caused by consuming foods contaminated by ashfall, such as vegetables, fruits, rice, and fish. JP Nunez will tell us why.
There are reports of ashfall near the erupting Mayon volcano in Albay, while the Taal volcano in Batangas continues to emit smoke. According to a nutritionist and dietitian, ash can contaminate fruits and vegetables near the two volcanoes.
Maaari makontaminate yung ating mga pagkain. No? Kasama dyan yung mga vegetation and every other thing na pwedeng matamaan ng mga ashfall na yan.
Rice plantations can also be affected by smog due to the eruption, as well as fisheries in the fish cages. When ash is ingested, it can cause illnesses, so it is best to avoid food contamination due to ashfall.
Maaaring na sumakit yun saan, pwedeng mag-excessive saliva, pwede rin na magtae, pwede rin magsuka yung mga kababayan natin. Kaya pinag-iingat natin maigi ang ating mga kababayan sa mga pagkain nila.
Food is also safer when wash and cook properly. Thoroughly wash and clean cooking utensils. Additionally, immediately clean up the environment if ashfall has occurred.
Also, kailangan tayo maghugas ng kamay at siguraduhin malinis yung ating mga raw material.
In addition to the food contamination, inhalation of ash can also cause respiratory illnesses such as asthma. Experts remind people to wear an N95 face mask when ashfall happens in their area. If there is no surgical face mask available, a cloth mask or fabric mask can be used to cover the nose and mouth. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for news abroad, a Twitter post earlier today from United Kingdom Prime Minister Rishi Sunak confirmed an agreement with the United States to boost the country's partnership. The UK government sees the economic deal as unprecedented. Therese Longbowen will tell us the details live. Good evening, Therese.
Good evening, Marielle. The United Kingdom Prime Minister Rishi Sunak proudly announced on Twitter today that he has reached an agreement with United States President Joe Biden at the White House. The agreement, known as the Atlantic Declaration, aims to establish a stronger economic partnership between the two countries to address ongoing supply chain issues, promote the development of future technologies, and foster economic growth. The Atlantic Declaration aims to have swifter, deeper economic cooperation between the countries in multiple aspects.
As NATO allies, we're working together to help provide the collective defense.
And we will put our values front and center, as we've always done, to deliver for the British and American people.
Under the Atlantic Declaration, the leaders announced several new measures, including support for the clean energy industry. This involves removing barriers that hinder the trading of electric vehicles and ensuring that Russia is excluded from the nuclear power market. The US and the UK will launch a new civil nuclear partnership. In addition, a data bridge is expected to benefit approximately 55,000 UK businesses by enabling smooth data transfer with US-certified companies, free from levies or red tape. The Atlantic Declaration also encompasses research collaboration on current and future technologies, such as artificial intelligence or AI, 6G, and quantum computing. An AI summit is planned to be held before the end of the year. Negotiations have been initiated for a critical minerals agreement, which will effectively ensure that UK mining, recycling, and refining companies have access to US subsidies and can continue supplying US manufacturers, thereby enhancing job opportunities within the industry. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Therese Longbowen, reporting live. In response to the devastating wildfire season that has begun across Canada, allies from around the world have promised to increase assistance to Canada. Monica Canlas tells us why.
Thousands of people have been forced from their homes as forest fires swept through Canada in its worst start to wildfire season on record. As a result, international allies have pledged to assist Canada in its efforts to contain hundreds of fires that have spread across Canada. The United States have deployed 600 firefighters to Canada along with fire suppression assets. In a tweet, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau expressed his gratefulness for the assistance U.S. provided and also urged collaborative efforts of countries to combat the impact of climate change. The eastern province of Quebec is experiencing some of its worst wildfires, forcing 12,600 people to evacuate. Wildfire season started unseasonably early in Quebec last month and burned a record area of more than 280,000 hectares. Extreme heat warnings are still in effect in the southern region of the province, while Nova Scotia continues to battle its largest ever blaze. Temperatures were expected to hit 33 degrees Celsius or 91 degrees Fahrenheit in some areas of British Columbia, currently fighting the second largest wildfire on record. According to Federal Minister of Emergency Preparedness Bill Blair, approximately 3.8 million hectares have already burned, which is roughly 15 times the annual average of the previous 10 years. Monica Canlas, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen. Thank you, Marielle. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Another power interruption occurred at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA Terminal 3 past noon today, a month after the outage on May 1. Manila International Airport says a procedural lapse during an electrical audit caused a power shortage in NAIA 3 today. JP Nunez will tell us why.
As part of the Manila International Airport Authority or MIAA's improvement initiatives, MIAA tapped Meralco Energy Incorporated or MSERV to lead the full electrical audit of Terminal 3 in its Roadway 1 and 2 substations around 7:45 in the morning. However, around 12:52 in the afternoon, a power shortage occurred at NAIA 3, which affected airport operations and inconvenienced passengers. MIAA immediately met with Meralco subsidiary MSERV to discuss the cause of the power outage. According to MIAA Acting General Manager Brian Co, MSERV identified that an oversight occurred when one of their personnel inadvertently left a testing cable attached to one of the electrical equipment, causing the power interruption.
We would like to apologize to all the passengers and stakeholders po that were here at Terminal 3 today that were inconvenienced because of this brief power interruption that affected the terminal. A total of 37 minutes that there was a brief power interruption at the Terminal 3. The root cause was traced in the substation Roadway 2 where the one that was auditing it for MSERV, one of their crew inadvertently left test cable na naka-tap. So that caused a power shortage that affected the power system of the Terminal 3.
Co said that shortly after the power went off, the MIAA generator sets kicked in, causing minimal disruption in airport processes, while Meralco immediately responded and assisted in the quick restoration of the power supply in NAIA Terminal 3.
It was not a complete loss of power for the terminal because after 12:52, our generators kicked in. Hindi naman po abrupt and immediate. Some of them will have to reboot and recover. Katulad po ng ating air conditioning systems, it will take around 30 minutes para maging ma-fully power ulit yung mga aircon systems natin. Same goes with the immigration systems and of course our X-ray systems. That's why there was a build-up of passengers po during that time.
No flights were cancelled, but a total of 7 flights were delayed due to the 37-minute interruption. MIAA said that MSERV assured that concerned public that the power outage today was not equipment-related but a procedural lapse of its personnel. They added that the airing personnel will be dealt with accordingly. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In other news, the unemployment rate in the country dropped to 4.5% for the month of April, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority, or PSA. Meanwhile, the employment rate rose to more than 48 million adult Filipinos. Bernadette Tinoy will tell us why.
The Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA reports the latest labor force survey for the month of April. The unemployment rate dropped from 2.42 million Filipinos in March to 2.26 million adult Filipinos in April, while the employment rate rose to 95.5% or 48.06 million adult Filipinos.
Nitong Abril 2023, ang employed persons o bilang ng mga may trabaho o negosyo ay naitala sa 48.06 million. Ito ay mas mataas ng 2.43 million kaysa sa naitala noong Abril 2022 na nasa 45.63 million. Unemployed persons o bilang na nasa labor force na walang trabaho o negosyo nitong Abril 2023 ay nasa 2.26 million.
According to PSA Undersecretary and National Statistician Dennis Mapa, the highest increase in the number of employed persons from January to April covers construction and many other sectors.
January versus April, may pagtaas tayo dito sa construction. Isa yon, mga 300,000 ang dagdag. Again, wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, may dagdag na 183,000. Kasama na rin yung human health and social work activities.
Fresh graduate Angelica Columba started her work as a video editor in April and reiterates the importance of having a job these days.
Gagawa ka ng resume mo, tapos meron ding mga hinihingi na mga IDs like TIN ID, PhilHealth. Ayun, very important. Yung mga bilihin, sobrang taas na. So, nung nagkaroon ako ng trabaho, nagkaroon na rin ako ng, naka-help na ako doon sa household namin. So, parang medyo lumuwag na rin yung mga gastos namin nung nagkaroon ako ng trabaho.
Bernadette Tinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Typhoon Chadeng is maintaining its strength as it moves within the Philippine area of responsibility. As of 5 p.m. today, the cyclone was located at 885 kilometers east of northern Luzon. It is packing maximum sustained winds of 130 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 160 kilometers per hour. The typhoon is moving in a north-northwest direction at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Chadeng is not expected to directly affect the country, but it may enhance the southwest monsoon. Tomorrow, areas that may experience gusty conditions include Visayas, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, Camiguin, and Dinagat Islands. For now, scattered rains and showers and thunderstorms are expected in Palawan. Isolated rain showers and thunderstorms will prevail over Metro Manila and the rest of the country.
According to Volodymyr Zelenskyy, the ecological catastrophe of the Nova Kakhovka Dam has expanded into a global issue, as highly contaminated waters are now flowing into the Black Sea. Jane Robles tells us why live. Good evening, Jane.
Good evening, Marielle. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy announced that the ecological disaster caused by the collapsed dam in Ukraine has grown into a global problem as severely contaminated water is now streaming into the Black Sea. Zelenskyy warned that as the spread of the contaminated water continues, the environmental devastation that has already endangered more than 2 million beings may also pose global consequences. He added that as a result of the dam's destruction, fuel storage facilities, warehouses containing chemicals and fertilizers, and possibly anthrax from burial sites were flooded.
Дамби, затоплені сховища палива, склади з хімікатами, склади з добривами, могильники тварин. Із них щонайменше 2 сибіркові поховання і обидва на тимчасово окупованій території.
According to Kyiv, Russia's destruction of the dam early on Tuesday is ecocide. Zelenskyy also stated that in addition to 100,000 downstream residents who suffered damages, 50,000 hectares of forest were submerged, and animals and birds were under the threat of impending death. Meanwhile, the death toll from the flooding has climbed to 6, with the Moscow-backed administration of Nova Kakhovka reporting 5 deaths and 41 hospitalizations. Marielle?
Thank you, Jane Robles, for that live report. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Mariela Toza, reporting live from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 37. It says, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Behind the News, June 9, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Hardin Delgado.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.